Hey, this is Lori with Soul Sisters Digital. Thanks for your call yesterday. Wanted to get this video out to you to show you how your business is stacking up against your competition online, but to also give you some steps that you can do to improve things. So first of all, as Google crawls the web, it is really looking for three things: content, citations, and backlinks. So those are the things I'm going to talk about today. Now, content refers to the words and images on your site, and Google likes to see between 1,500 and 2,000 words, kind of at a minimum on the page, to give it a really good idea of who you are and what you do. The exact amount is going to depend on the competition and also the number of keywords that you need. Now, what's a keyword? A keyword is anything someone might type into Google looking for a particular service or product. So I do want to point out before we get too much further is that in going to your page, the 808girlexpress.com, it is actually not a valid page right now. And from what I'm able to tell, your domain is fine. It's been renewed up until next year, but it's parked. So it could be that the hosting has expired. So I can't really take a look at what your site looks like right now. But instead, let's take a look at what a Google search might look like. I know that you do, because I was looking at your Instagram page, I know that you do, and also your Google map listing. You're a Middle Eastern restaurant, you do Middle Eastern food. So I just did a quick search for Middle Eastern restaurant, Gainesville, Florida. And what comes up first is what we call the map pack. More and more people are using these maps to find businesses and to find what they're looking for, especially for brick and mortar businesses, because they're going to go there. And that's what you would be, obviously as a brick and mortar. Somebody would go there to eat your food. Obviously, to get into this top three, which is where you want to be, you need to have a Google business profile. You need to make sure it's filled out as completely as possible. And you also need to have your name, address, and phone number listed in as many relevant directories on the web as possible. So everything from Yelp and Yellow Pages, etc. The more times you have that happen, name, address, phone number, the more power it gives your profile. Because every place you do that is considered a citation. The idea really is that your brand begins to be found by Google all over the internet. And the larger that online presence is, the more it trusts you. Below the map is what we call the organic results. That just means non-paid. And ideally, you want to be in the top three here as well. The top three of both, you're going to see the majority of the business. Now, I will say that just based on me typing your name and location into Google, I can see that you've got a number of citations. You've got something for Yelp. You've obviously got Facebook. Grubhub, you're listed in. That is a link to your website, which isn't working right now. You've got Instagram. All of these things help your ranking. And when I look at the Middle Eastern search, you are number 2 in the map, which is awesome. And you're actually number 2 in the organic as well, because I don't count directories when I'm trying to figure out who is ranked number 1. So this top listing here is a directory. So is this one. So is Yelp. So is Yellow Pages and another version of Yelp. So really we come down to Tzatziki's Cafe as being the number 1 for that particular search term. And then comes you. So I would consider you number 2, because again, this TripAdvisor, it's another directory. So for the purposes of the video, we're going to take a look at Tzatziki's Cafe in comparison. Now it looks like Tzatziki's is like they have multiple locations. I'm pretty sure this is just a back page. There's not a ton of words on this page, so I think it'd be relatively easy to beat when it came down to it. I can't tell what's on your page, so I can't do that. But what I can do is examine your page kind of from the back end. I don't know how recently it went offline, but I can tell some information through a tool I have called Ahrefs. This lets me look at how much traffic you're getting, what your kind of backlinks are, and that is the last piece of the puzzle, is backlinks. So a backlink, we'll go into that real quick, is anywhere you find one website linking to another via clickable or hyperlink text. Now, these links act like an endorsement of your website. It's another way Google uses to build trust in your business because it sees these other businesses vouching for you. Now, not all backlinks are created equal. So those that are going to be relevant to your business are going to count more, as will those that are local. And ideally, of course, you want them to be powerful in their own right. So I can look at a bunch of information from this tool. So the first thing, let's look at, let's park the backlink profile for a second. Let's look at the organic traffic. So you're getting about 101 visits per month. And that is driven off of 43 keywords. And if I drill down and look at those 43 keywords, I can see a lot of them have to do with the name of your business. But if we look for something that's more of a, what I might call a buyer intent keyword. In other words, something that someone doesn't already know you for, they don't know about you, but they're looking for something that you do. So for example, well, you can even look at this Grill Fresh, Gainesville. Someone's looking for like kind of fresh grilled food potentially, or let's see, what else is there? Falafel, nope, that's not it. Well, maybe this Skewers Lebanese street food menu potentially. There's not a ton of things here that I would say would actually be more about what you do rather than just your name or very closely related to your name. But let's take a look instead at, let's look at Tzatziki's. So they're getting 28 visits per month off of 40 keywords to this back page. Obviously, they've got a lot that are their name as well. But they've also got something like restaurants in Butler Plaza, Gainesville, Florida. They have Gainesville Healthy Restaurants. And if you look at this data, what you can see is that, like for Gainesville Healthy Restaurants, for example, that is being searched 80 times per month. Now, they're not getting any traffic for that yet because they're in the 41st spot. And so you can see the traffic is 0. Where their traffic is coming from is the name things. Butler Plaza Restaurants is one. So that is being searched 300 times per month. They're in the number 12 spot for that. So that particular term alone is getting them 5 visits per month. And if we go back and look at yours, we can see that Grill Express, for example, is being searched 450 times per month. And you're in the number 3 spot. So that is actually getting you 54 visits per month. But you can see how important it is to target the words that you want to be found for. Now, the other thing that we look at on here is the backlinks. Now, because, like I said, not all backlinks are created equal, this tool tries to look at it like Google does with a weighted approach. So it's going to count more those things that are local. It's going to count more those things that are relevant. And so it takes all the links that you have here and it puts them into a score from 0 to 100. So for your overall domain, you're looking at a 0.1 on a scale of 0 to 100. And on this specific home page, you're looking at a 0 on a scale from 0 to 100. And if we look at Tzatziki's, just in contrast, we can see that there are 56 on the domain, which tells me that because they have multiple locations, that's helping them. But for this particular location specifically, they're at a 1.1 on that scale of 0 to 100. Now, once all those things come back together, the content, the backlinks and citations, that's when you begin ranking higher and higher, and more customers will find you. I hope this information has been helpful. We're going to call you a little bit later today and talk through kind of what you're needing. Obviously, your website is having an issue right now, so a little handicapped on that, but we'd love to help you get your website up and going. From my understanding, you are looking to have a site more like this Damascus Kitchen, where you have a menu and people can order and be able to get their food, to be able to pick up their food like that. So we will talk through all that. I want to get this off to you. Hope you're having a good day, and we'll talk with you soon.